Hola, hola, hola. This is Alex from Alex Chats. Stopping through today because I had a question for you, the community. Simply, are you dreaming? Well, a couple questions. Are you dreaming at night? Are you remembering them? And are you making, because we have to create the time to review them when you wake up in the morning. If you are not, I definitely encourage you to begin. It is never, ever late to begin. You can start tonight. You can even leave a little pad and paper right by your bed. So, like the moment you get up, whatever you remember from your night's dream, get up and write it down. Could be the feeling, could be the colors, it could be a particular happening, it could be just anything. And even if it doesn't make sense to you, just write it down, write the date, and keep track of it. You'd be surprised how sometimes in the moment it may not mean anything, but then later on you review these little notes and you see the story, or you see the messaging, or you understand the messaging better. Our dreams do so much for us. They really are another inner guidance system for us. And it's a beautiful and a very important practice, if you don't do it already, or if you've never tried, to develop that relationship with remembering what you dream. Yes, not all of our dreams are a huge deal, they can be filled with so many messages or reminders or real talk, or even at times prophetic messaging. And what happens is that the more you do it, the more you start to understand, and the more you practice reviewing your dreams, really always checking with yourself to see what that messaging was. The more you do that, the easier it becomes, to the point that you almost get to a place where, the moment you just are in that headspace in the morning and you think about it and you process it, you immediately know what it means. Keeping in mind that dreams most of the time work through symbolism. Sometimes they will be literal, but most of the time it's symbolism. It's not necessarily what you may perceive it to be initially. A lot of times you have to sort of step back and look at it from, the way I like to see it is, I always like to look at it from different tiers, like to look at it from that whole side point of view, and keep going down to more specific focuses, all the way down to like a 3D, what's happening in front of me, what's the messaging in front of me versus what's the messaging from above. And again, that takes practice. It's like a muscle you build. It is very much connected to your intuition and all of your senses, and it is something I encourage you to do. Why do I say that? Well, because I love it, and it's always been an important part of who I am in my system, but very importantly because of the times we're living in. It's important to pay attention to all cues and all messaging. So for anyone that's like, that's just like woo-woo stuff to me, or for anyone that's, maybe practices a religion that looks down at dreaming as a particular guidance, look at it, step away from things, take away the labels, and just simply look at it as messages, patterns. You could take anything that you're interested in. You're interested in politics, you're interested in culture, you're interested in activism, you're interested in what's going on. Everything has some sort of pattern to it. Everything has some sort of pulse to it. The more you get into something, you can start to sort of see the rhythms and the flows to things. You can understand, depending on certain cues, when something's about to shift. You can tap into those vibes. And just like we do that in day to day when we're walking down the street and we're paying attention to our environment and on how it feels when I'm walking down the street, or I'm paying attention to the news cycle and seeing that certain patterns are happening all over, and that's gonna add up to something. Just like you train yourself to be able to pick up and understand what certain rhythms and certain flows can mean, or seem like they're leading to a particular message. Our dreams, you can work with your dreams in a similar way. The more you connect to your dreams and dreaming, the more you can start to understand your own inner patterns and flows. You can understand the messaging, and the best part about it is that it's focused always around you in your life. So while we can focus and build up all these beautiful skills outside of us in our day-to-day world, which is important as well, sister reminder, do so for within your world as well. And if anything, make sure that you spend even more time there, because in today's world, with so much happening so fast in every capacity, the more tapped in we are to ourselves, the more we understand and know ourselves, our rhythms, our flows, the more we understand our pulse, the more we understand our shifts, the more we understand even just the messages of our own dreams, of the ways that our whole being sends us guidance. Trust me, it helps you navigate this world so much more smoother, with so much more confidence and calmer. So for anyone that is maybe feeling a little bit too overwhelmed or feeling anxious, I recommend you spend more time inward, really nourishing yourself, your nervous system, your all your bodies, mind, body, soul. And you may just be needing a little bit more love. You may be needing to feed your inside worlds a little bit more, and work on building more of a grounding, more of a energetic shielding, and very much an understanding of the messages that our body tries to send us. Because our body, just like so within, so without, just like the world works on symbolism and messaging and little signs and little feelings, our body's the same way. When it's trying to communicate something, it starts with little messages, little ways, little feelings, little symbolisms within ourselves that maybe we start to feel, start to see all around us, or even on a physical level. But it's also even in our dreams, when it's trying to just maybe guide you down a certain path, or get you to be open a little bit more, or reminding you to just spend a little bit more time loving on yourself. So anyway, my fam, we could go on and on with this topic. It has so many beautiful components to your self-care and self-practice. And in these days, above all, I feel is just a really beautiful and important and powerful way to help you navigate life, and to help you center yourself these days. So love up on them dreams. A lot happens in dream time. Ciao.